Hello, this is the One Episode Rule, a podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie, hosting a totally normal podcast that does not advocate for eco-terrorism.
Speak for yourself, bro.
Eco-terrorism bad, bot violence good though. Kill all robots.
Except for lethargic.
Lethargic.
So yeah, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Blackle. I'm very sleepy. I walked like 9 kilometers yesterday and got ice cream, so that was
fun. Hello,
that's
I'm
like
Joey.
500 miles in American.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, I'm Joey, and what did I do? We finished the JoJo's OVA this week.
Oh yeah, we were watching that. We didn't tell you about a podcast, but we were watching it.
Yeah. And we have now seen it all.
It's got some weird energy, let me tell you that. You can tell.
It's like turbo violent.
You can feel the Satoshi Kon on it. It's like super like visceral.
Yeah.
Like the same things happen, but they feel so much punchier.
They do. It's shocking.
It's got that 80s OVA aura of just like we don't give a shit.
Yeah. Cartoon punch noise. Followed by
oh yeah,
just the funkiest battle music you've ever heard in an anime.
Yeah, every episode starts with a literal 5-minute intro section scored by, I swear to God, it sounds like a fucking Street Fighter music.
Which feels appropriate with how much fighting they're doing on the streets. Anyhow.
But yeah, we watched through that. It's weird. It's just weird.
It was fun though. I had a good time.
It's fun. I can't say it was bad.
No.
I kind of disliked some of the like editing choices because they make Polnareff look dumber than he already is, which he doesn't need help with.
So true.
And they take his only good scene away from him.
They do that.
But yeah, you guys want to get into some news?
Yeah, let's have some news.
We're gonna go in like escalating like order of intensity here, which is we have more Japanese box office news. I know everybody loves this totally relevant segment, but I picked this one up because it looks like Dragon Ball Super has finally been defeated at the Japanese box office by Top Gun Maverick.
Jesus Christ!
Proving that the Japanese are just as susceptible to like obvious military propaganda as long as it has cool jets in it.
Yeah, cool airplanes. My coworker every single day will come up to me and be like, "Have you seen Top Gun yet?" And I'll be like, "No." And he'll be like, "You're not American." And I'm like, "Shut up, Mark."
Christ.
I don't care about Top Gun. I didn't care about the first Top Gun. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch a Scientologist suck off a jet.
Yeah.
Unless they cut all the people out of that and it's just cool jets flying around doing cool jet shit.
You know it's not. You know it's not.
Let's see. Our next thing is that, hey, you guys ever hear of Mononoke? The hyper cool anime animated program. Yeah, that's gonna be a movie.
Yep, I've heard about this because on my anime list, I have the series in my to watch list, and if you have something in your to watch list, if they add something like a movie to their database, it'll be like, oh hey, are you interested in this? I am interested in this.
So yeah, they're gonna make a movie about the medicine seller. We should probably watch the source material before that comes out.
Absolutely.
That's gonna be next year. And finally, Crunchyroll has announced that they're going to stream a new Trigun series.
Yes.
Called Trigun Stampede, which is going to come out in 2023. The only thing that bothers me about it is that apparently it's going to be made by Studio Orange, and they keep talking about how great of a 3D anime studio Orange is.
Come on.
It might be fine. I mean, they made Beastars.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna watch it either way. I just have like strong nostalgia for the old style. That's all.
I too feel like Trigun. I feel like Trigun should be like extremely gritty.
It
which
should
is a
feel
hard,
like watching a '90s anime. Absolutely.
It's a hard look to replicate with 3D.
We'll see what happens. I'm excited either way. I love Trigun. Trigun is one of my all-time top favorite animes ever. So
we talk about it constantly. We were talking about Brilliant Dynamite's Neon the other day.
Brilliant
because
Dynamite,
he's so cool.
The boy.
He's in like 2 episodes, and he made the most impression of any character in Trigun.
Those were some of the best episodes in the show, easily.
He's fucking rad. Anyway, that's all the news for now.
Yep.
Do we want to select something?
We do want to select something, and I think what we should select is whatever Eyeshield 21 is.
Eyeshield 21.
Eyeshield 21 is like old. I know that much. Like, it's been around for an age. So we'll see if we can find it. So, just by chance, you managed to select, after we did Birdie Wing, an anime about American football.
I was like, oh no, it's another sports anime! What have I done? But spoilers, this one's much better.
Oh, do you like this better than Birdie Wing? Okay.
We'll talk about it. We'll get into it.
Well, if you like it so much, how about you read this blurb?
All right. Shy, reserved, and small-statured, Deimon High School student Seina Kobayakawa is the perfect target for bullies. However, as a result of running errands throughout his life, Seina has become agile and developed a skill for avoiding crowds of people. After the cunning Yoichi Hiruma, captain of the Demon Devil Bats football team, witnessed Seina's rapid legs in motion, he coerces the timid boy into joining his squad. As Hiruma wants to conceal Seina's identity from other clubs, Seina is forced to hide under the visored helmet of Eyeshield 21, a mysterious running back wearing the number 21 jersey. The legendary Eyeshield 21 can supposedly run at the speed of light and has achieved remarkable feats in the United States during his time at the Notre Dame College? Accustomed to avoiding his problems in the past, Seina's specialty might just help him become the new secret weapon of the Demon Devil Bats. As he interacts with his teammates, Seina gradually gains more self-confidence and forges valuable bonds along the way.
There's 2 things that must be addressed immediately. First of all, as soon as I heard the phrase mysterious running back, the edges of my vision started to go white as I began to lose air from laughing under my breath. It's an incredible phrase.
But also, pardon me, he's taken the personality of someone from Notre Dame College?
See, this is a problem because this is a high school boy, and I'm not sure Japan knows the difference between college and high school, because somebody who was a running back at Notre Dame probably stayed at Notre Dame and then went into and then maybe made it pro, and B, is a grown ass man compared to a teenager.
Okay, maybe someone from the school got a hold of one of his legendary jerseys and they just forgot what it was and it ended up at the high school in the back of the closet.
No, I don't think he's actually taking on like an existing persona.
No.
I think they made all this shit up.
Oh,
about him. This is his.
I think so.
This is his pro wrestler backstory.
Okay, all right. I mean, you're a pro wrestler / pro football mysterious running back.
He's from parts unknown, like the fucking Ultimate Warrior.
That's what I'm saying. I guess this is valid. You're allowed to make up your persona. It's a little weird for a football player, but all right.
There's a lot weird going on here. Okay, so let's
get this rundown.
Let's crack into this. Okay. So we actually cold open in the future in a game that they're playing against some dudes in white jerseys. The Devil Bats wear red jerseys. Where we're introduced to the variety of character models that they choose to go with in this show. But basically, it is to hype you up for what Sena is going to become later on in the series, because he's gonna they decide they are back 40 yards and they needed a touchdown to cinch it, so they're just like only one man can run 40 yards in one play.
Eyeshield 21, send him in, boys.
Which, by the way, I played a bit of football. Like, I played a significant amount of football. 40 yards is not a short distance, but it is also not undoable either.
It's almost half of a football field.
Like the real impressive drives you see are whenever people take it like fucking 80 or 75 yards, because that's kind of crazy.
That's wild. I mean, you gotta get past a certain point, but then there's no one in front of you, and you just gotta be free, I guess.
You're like, after your running back crosses like 50 yards, the crowd starts to get a little wild because they're just like, oh shit,
we're gonna watch this happen.
But 40 yards is respectable, though. Good for them.
Yeah.
It's a drive.
I can respect it.
If you're a high schooler, you can hang that one on your trophy wall. But anyway, yeah, he does it, and I had some thoughts before I was introduced to this character proper, because this is a very interesting way to introduce him, because they introduced him as Eyeshield 21, not as Sena. So I have to say, the way that the camera treats this football boy, is they treat him like fucking RoboCop.
They do. They're like, this is a super-powered inhuman. You're not even sure what he is.
He's not a man. He's a machine. I thought fucking Carpenter Brute was going to start playing as he did this drive.
Yes.
Like they were going to cue up a track from like Tech Noir or something.
There were moments when you see him with the like animation smears going super fast whoosh mode. And
he fucking uses like VATS. He stops time with his mind and he plots out courses around the dude.
I was like, does he have a cheat helmet?
I thought it was like some kind of like heads-up display or something.
Yeah, you thought it was like a HUD built into his fucking cyber eyes, but no, that's just something he can
his
do.
brain.
And that's how they choose to represent it. It is wild. It is almost the equal to some of the other characters on this team, but we'll get to them later.
Yep.
So yeah, we had that cold open. Hey, it's a pretty good hook. If you have even the slightest, if you're not repelled by football, like you just play like, hey, this is pretty cool.
Of all sports, I think football might be the most interesting to me.
But yeah, so yeah, now we're gonna go back to the present, where Sena is just a little guy. He's just a little guy, and it's his birthday.
It is his birthday.
He is actually a diminutive character, and he is introduced with his with basically his love interest, almost immediately, they're both introduced at the same time. She's dragging him to see if he made it into the local school, because you have to like audition for high schools in Japan. It's fucked up, but
that's so weird.
The education system over there is still baffling to me after all this time. But she drags him in there, and I really appreciate the fact that he's just a little guy, and she looks goddamn enormous.
Yes,
she just looks like a really tall girl.
Yes,
and I think she's probably got a little tall girl energy. She's maybe like, I don't know, she's probably like 5'8" or something. I think he's just a manlet. He's just really small.
He's just little. He's a little dude.
Yeah, because he's just gonna go home because he's like, I know I failed already, and she's like, no, come with me.
Look at the board.
I have pink hair and I'm 1.5 feet taller than you. I get to tell you what to do. And she just pushes him towards the board.
I did write, yes, girl, bully him.
Yeah, she bullies him, but she takes him up there, and there's a big board with all the numbers that made it, and they're just like, oh shit, is he there? Is there 021? Oh shit, he's there. He made it.
Shit.
And they're gonna go to the same school for the first time since elementary school, and they both like blush. They're just like, oh shit.
Aw.
And it's kind of, compared to a lot of like anime like romantic subplots and shit, it's kind of nice because it's just like, oh, that's cute. They both like each other.
It's sweet.
That's why she pushes him around and shit. That's cute. She's just like, stand up for yourself.
But they also show like flashbacks where she's like sticking up for him and stuff.
Yeah,
and
she's
it's, like,
whooping.
Nice.
She's whooping bullies with a stick and shit.
It's good. It's cute.
Because it will become known that Sena is a doormat.
Yes.
So while she steps away, because she tears up a little bit. She's really happy about it. She goes to grab the new student handbooks for them because she doesn't want him seeing her cry. her happy tears.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to introduce some interesting character designs. I'm going to refer to these guys. They have names, and I'll say their names every now and then. But I'm going to refer to them broadly as Junkrat and Roadhog because that's who these motherfuckers are.
Oh no, you're so right. I hate that. I'm gonna cry.
So broadly, the guy I'm calling Junkrat is blonde. He is a vampire. The man is he has elf ears.
He has the pointy ears. He's got
he has
shark
a mouthful
teeth for
of shark teeth. He is drawn unlike every other character.
Personally, I saw these two characters as Kaiji and the guy from My Love Story.
Yeah, he is a combination of like fucking Kaiji and fucking Viral from Gurren Lagann.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so true.
He's incredible. And his friend is just enormous, round and dark-skinned, and has like barely has a face.
He just has like if someone draws a child drawing a smiley face.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
A Walmart smiley face.
He's a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man of a human being.
Mm-hmm.
He's good.
He's pretty good. But they creep up in there, and they're in their football clothes, which made me wonder if they were ever going to have other clothes. But they do wear other clothes. But they're in the same uniforms they were in the cold open. And they creep up on him, and they just grab him. And they just start tossing them up in the air, the two of them. They're just like, hooray, you made it. You did such a good job. And he completely blisses out because it's like, nobody's ever tossed me in the air. We're having such a good time. And they put him down, right? And they're just, and Junkrat just goes down on one knee and he just puts out okay, so Eyeshield 21, I'm pretty sure is based on a manga from the 90s. But they give him an ancient ass cell phone.
Yes.
This is my first cell phone.
Yeah, like, this is a flip phone.
No, it's not a flip phone.
Wasn't it?
I don't think it's a flip phone.
Oh,
I think it is a stick phone. That's how old it is. But
like a Nokia brick or something.
Yeah, it's like a Nokia brick, like I used to have. So yeah, he goes down on one knee and he just presents it like he's presenting a fucking sword to him. And he says, "Please inform your parents of your good fortune." And he's just like, "I can use your phone?" And this scene comes off exactly as weird as it should, because he's just like, "Okay, yeah, I'll call my mom. And he's just like, doot, doot, doot. It's just like, "Hey, mom." And the guy immediately swipes it from him. And he's about to talk into it. And the girl from before, we should find out her name. But the girl from before just slides in between them and snatches it up and turns it off. And she's just like, "Hey, stop it. He's off limits."
No bully. No bully.
You stop that. And and the guys are just like, yeah, whatever. And they go away.
Is her name Momori?
They hear another guy saying, "Yatta, I got in." And they're just like, "I got another opportunity." So they slink off. And yeah, I'm looking for her.
Yeah, her name is Momori.
More characters.
Characters.
Is it Momori?
Yeah, her name is Momori.
Let's just stop the podcast to look. There's so many characters in this. I don't see her anywhere.
She's like right towards the front.
Oh, it's because they're using like a manga picture for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Memory. I think
Memory.
I think it's Momori. Yeah. So,
mammary glands.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, she slides in and she's just like, "Nope, blocked." And they creep off to go do it to some other guy.
Yeah, they do. Just immediately in the background, they're tossing someone else. It's great.
And she's just like, don't interact with that guy, Haruma, because his name is Haruma. Haruma is the fucking devil. He will eat the flesh off your fucking bones.
That's literally the phrase that she says, "Eat the flesh off your bones."
And while she's saying this show has a talent for like exaggeration.
Yes.
Because behind the two of them, it is just, there's no background. It's just filled with an image of Haruma as like just the fucking demon or an Oni or something, just breathing fire and shit. And he's got a huge forked tongue rolling out between his teeth. It's pretty good. So anyway, yeah. So we move on, and it's the first day. He goes home and he discovers that his mailbox is full of flyers and shit for school clubs, and there's a fax machine in his house that's been printing off advertisements for the high school's football club for like 6 hours or something. They're filling up the entire entryway.
Yeah.
But the next day, they go in and she's just like, "You're gonna do fine. You gotta make some real friends this time. Maybe you should join a club." And he's just like, "Yeah, okay." So she shoves them forward while they're walking, and then all the clubs have their stands out because they're stumping.
Yep.
They're stumping for people, and he's just like,
Could
I join this? Could I join I don't know, kendo? Could I join soccer? And he's just like, "I should join soccer." And he plays it out in his mind where he goes to blast the ball and he just fucking flings his shoe off.
Flies off and bonks him on the head.
And he's just like, "Oh, maybe I won't do a sports club."
Yeah.
So he goes to his homeroom class, and he's just like, "Okay, you can do this." And he actually goes in and he sits down. And the next scene is the scene where they're all introducing themselves. I don't remember doing this past like middle school.
No.
But apparently they do it in high school over there.
Yeah.
Because American high school teachers ain't got time for that shit.
No, but then they bring it back in college.
They see. I can't imagine anything further from the truth for me.
At every single college class.
My college teachers didn't even know my fucking name. They would not have known if I had just snuck into the class.
Right? Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, he's just, and it gets to him and he stands up and he's just like, "I'm going to try not to be a dog. I'm going to put all my heart into doing everything in school. I like middle school." Thank you.
Like,
and he sits down, and nobody looks at him, so he's just like, good.
He's like, yes, I did it. I survived the
and
intro.
He looks around, and he's just like, everybody looks kind of normal. Maybe this will be fine. And he looks behind him, and he sees fucking 3 grown-ass men in the back of the...
These are just adults.
These are adults. And yeah, these are like obviously hooligans. They're bordering on Fist of the North Star characters.
Yes.
That's what they look like.
They do. The art style shift is jarring.
Yeah.
I really appreciate this anime's commitment to just making characters look like whatever the fuck they want.
Yes.
As long as they can make them expressive in the ways they want them to be.
Very fucking good.
There is no cowardice in this art design. There is incredible confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it might be misplaced, but it's there, and I appreciate it. But yeah, he looks back and he sees them, and he's just like, oh, shit. And these guys immediately clock him as a doormat. They're just like, hey, you see that kid?
Ah, fresh meat.
They're just like, look at him. He's a squirt. Okay. So whenever there's a break in the action, you know, they stroll up on there. They're just like, hey, buddy, what's going on? And all 3 of them are just on him. They're like just crowding around him. They're just like, hey, you want to be friends? Why don't you start by buying us some bread? And he tries a trick on them that Memori said. It's just like, you should just do jonkin for it, and the loser pays. And he starts in, and he's just like, and they're just like, huh?
Yeah, and he's like, just kidding.
And he tries it again, and they're like, ah! There's a cut you can make of that where he just keeps trying, and they just keep getting louder.
Yes.
But
very good.
It's a particularly like Japanese expression of bullying.
Yeah.
Where you just make noise at them.
You're like, huh?
Nani? But yeah, so they're just like, yeah, bring us yakisoba sandwiches. I eat yakisoba from time to time. I can't imagine it on a sandwich.
I think that like might be the sandwich. Point. Like, that sounds like it's a joke order, because he goes to the, I don't know, maybe he doesn't go look for it.
Well, he may not go look for it, but he does say that they're all out. And I've heard of it before.
It sounds like something that can't.
It's a thing. Like, it's a thing. The yakisoba bread is a thing that they do. I just don't know how they do it. And I'm going to look it up after the podcast, I guess. Because I've heard it twice now, and now I must know. But, but yeah, they're just like, we're going to be waiting behind the school, and don't be late. And he turns up later after school, and they're just like, that was quick. And he's just like, they were out. And then the next scene of them, there's an impressive level of coordination, because this guy keeps him pinned like 3 feet up off the wall just with kicks.
He is hovering and getting kicked in the ass repeatedly.
The whole time they're casually discussing the fact that they don't believe him that he even went to look and shit like that. And they look across the way and they see a disused like school shed, and they're just like, hey, let's beat his ass in there. That'll
take him to the shed, boys.
It has fucked up energy, because like in every other anime where you see like bullies, they don't care about just beating your ass in public. So this feels like they're gonna fuck them. Like, it's dire. It's
scary. It is frightening.
So they take him in there, and it's the football team's shit, and they're just like, oh, hey, football team. And then they start fucking around with the stuff and throwing the balls around, and the guy puts on the whole ass set of pads, which, by the way, it's like a pain in the ass.
I was going to say that would take a while.
Yeah. Like, because you got to put all the pads in the slots in the pants, and the pants. Listen, if those pants weren't for him, they would not fit him.
True.
It is a fucked up. I had to wear fucking suspenders the entire time that I played football, because there was no set of football pants that were made to hold the pads that would stay on my ass. So I had to wear these alligator clip suspenders that would explode off of my body sometimes. But he puts this whole set on, and he puts the helmet on, and he's just like, yeah, we're going to do tackle practice. Because whenever I beat somebody's ass, it has to have a theme, or I'm not, or I can't get hard, I guess.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
So the other guy grabs hold of him, and they're just like, okay, let's fucking spear him like Goldberg. And Roadhog steps in.
Yes.
Because he's a football guy. Now, this guy's name is like Kurita.
Kurita?
Kurita. And he is enormous.
He's the biggest boy. He's the goodest boy.
It doesn't pan out this way because they have to use it for a scene. But in his the initial like framing of the scene, it looks like he is filling half the shed. And they're just like, he's just like, hey, are you guys here to join the football team? That's rad. And they're just like, oh, this motherfucker, get the fuck out of here. We're using this place. And he's just like, no, I'll get you set up so you can join the team. And they go to knock his ass over. And the guy wearing the football helmet just charges directly into his chest. And he just stands there. Like a little bit of dust comes off of him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, are you interested in being lineman?
Yeah. And he's like, no, you have to scoop them under the elbows like this.
And he just scoops all three of them under the armpits and does a move that would get you removed from a football team almost immediately, because this is a judo throw and it will break somebody's fucking neck.
Yeah.
But he does just fling them over his own back. And then he goes charging at them. He's just like, "Oh, are you guys hurt? I didn't mean to hurt you. Please join the foot." And they just run because their whole lives have flashed before their eyes.
They're like, we are outmatched.
Because they don't want to be killed by the football titan. By the way, little real life shit. Lineman is the position you want because it is the position that allows you to do school-sanctioned violence to other people. You just have to do it with your shoulders. You're usually not allowed to grab people that much.
Is that what you got to do?
We'll go into it afterwards.
Okay.
Because I don't want to do an explainer on what I did in football. But,
all right.
So he comes back and he's just like, "Oh, I really beefed it. Those guys were terrified of me. They're not going to join the football team now."
He comes back in and sees Santa is still there.
He sees Santa. He's like, "I've still got one more," and the guy's just like, "I wasn't really here to join the team." And this is after he's got out the tea and cakes and shit.
And he just down is so funny.
And he just sits down and just looks down at his knees.
This entire scene made me laugh out loud for like 2 solid minutes.
And Santa's
everything about it was so funny.
Santa's just like, "Oh shit, he's really depressed." And he looks up at a sign that just says also managers, and he's just like, "What do managers do? Tell me about that. And like, how many people play on a team? And tell me about what managers do." And he's just like, usually you have to have 11 at least, and 11 is enough to field an offense or a defense, but not fucking both. These are going to be the same people on both teams.
Yeah.
No specialization in this team. But he says usually you need 11 at the very least. We have to borrow players from other clubs whenever we have inter-school matches.
Yeah.
Last time, two guys from I'm going to say the chess club because I think it's funny.
It's funny.
You guys from the chess club got horribly injured, so
we lost immediately.
We got knocked out of the tournament immediately. He's just like, "Oh shit, that's pretty rough, buddy." Hey, what do managers do? And he's just like, "Oh yeah, managers do a lot of stuff. They like set up our games and they do scouting missions and stuff." And Santa's having like an extended fantasy sequence where he turns into a JoJo character here, who's a football spy manager.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Coach, I've determined the enemy's weakness." And he's just like, "Already?"
He's
just like, "Yeah, my my not quite girlfriend told me to make friends. I'll just join this club. This guy seems genuinely nice, and also he can whoop the shit out of those guys.
Yeah. Friend doubles as bodyguard.
So yeah, he's just like, I'll be your manager, and the guy's like, yeah, and he literally swings him around the room, and he's just like, okay, yeah, I'll do that, and he punches his number into his new phone, which only has his not quite girlfriend's number in it. And he's just like, okay, time to go home, and he immediately gets ambushed on the footbridge.
Yep,
going home.
The bullies are back.
The bullies are back, and I've brought a bat. And they're just like, hey, tell us where that big guy lives. We're going to kill him.
We're going to just kill him.
Well, actually, I think their plan is that they're going to call the police beforehand, beat on him for a while, and if the cops do show up, they're going to be like, he attacked us with this bat and gave me this scar. This clearly healed large scar on this kid's face.
Yeah. Well, they don't seem very, clever,
they're not bright, and it'll get him kicked off the football team, which is probably right, actually.
Yeah.
This being Japan, brawling in the street might get him kicked off the football team.
Yeah.
Even if it's in self-defense.
Right.
Because schools are shit and they don't recognize self-defense.
Yeah.
Sometimes you even just get your ass beaten, don't fight back, and they still throw you out. But anyway, he's got his phone, and they're just like, hey, tell us where the big guy lives and we'll let you leave. And he's just like, I just made friends with that guy. No, I'm not going to tell you where.
Has a moment of character growth. Good for him.
He has a moment. He has some backbone. And then they immediately pick him up, and they're just like, all right, we're just going to beat the shit out of you until you tell us. And he's like, wait, this kid has a phone. Give me that. He's just like, what's in it? It's just like, oh, it's got that big guy's number, and some bitch's number too. Oh, we should take that down too. And he goes, what? you can't do that. So he kind of freaks out, and he just he goes absolutely goblin mode, listeners.
Yes, feral mode activate. He grabs the phone in his teeth.
Yeah, he springs forward and grabs the phone in his teeth, and it's like, you little bitch, what are you doing? And he just runs off down the rail of the footbridge, and they're just like, oh shit, get his ass.
Yeah, get him, boys.
Get him, boys. So yeah, he legs it to the train station, which is the problem with this plan, because he has to get on the train to go home. Because he's probably not going to be able to walk it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he squeezes in between two buildings, and he comes out on the station. He's just like, what the fuck do I do? There's a huge crowd here. They're gonna cut me off at the station. What do I do? And Haruma is there, just sort of hanging out, doing Haruma things. He's dressed like a delinquent version of the school uniform, like the other guys too. Because yeah, he's got big Okuyasu energy. He's
good. I love him.
So much like an elf.
He's got big Devilman energy.
He does.
But
I'm Devilman.
I'm Devilman.
That's the team they play for. Is the Demon High Devilmans.
We'll get into that.
I thought of that. That's the first thought I had when I saw their fucking helmets. But yeah. So he's there, and he's just like, hey, it's that kid from earlier. And Santa is having a panic attack trying to figure out what he's going to do. And the guys are catching up with him, and they've almost catched up with him when he activates RoboCop vision.
Yes.
To plot a course through the crowd. And he just fucking books it before they can bring the bat down on him.
Yep.
And Haruma sees this, and he's just like, shit, son.
He's like, run, little kid, run.
He's just like, this kid's a fucking rocket.
Yeah.
And he follows him because he's interested.
Yeah.
And he blasts through the crowd, and he does a little parkour, and he jumps down some stairs and goes through a what do you call those enclosed bridges between buildings?
Oh God.
The sky beams or whatever hell they are. They're called skyways. And he runs down a skyway, and he's like, I'm not gonna make it. He's just like, you could do it, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, he can't hear you. You're outside. But he's just like, all you have to do is jump, and he gets to the end of the stairs down to the station platform, and he leaps off the last stair, and dives into the car like you would an end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of like old people in there, and they're just like, "Oh my!"
You're like, "Oh, are you okay?" Ooh. And
Then-
the announcer's just like, "Do not jump into the train. This is dangerous."
The train conductor's just like, "Don't do that shit. That's how people die." And the doors close, and he gets away.
The bullies don't make it.
The bullies don't make it. They get to the stairs, and one of them just flubs it, and they all die. Because that's what
They
it
are
looks
just
like.
in a pile at the bottom of the stairs, broken.
And Haruma lands on them foot first, because he's just like, "Yeah, fuck these guys."
He's just
I'm
sitting
Devilman!
ass first on their faces, yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. The next time we see Sena, he's been tied up by Haruma and deposited in the football shed. Like, "Hey, I got us a running back," and the guy's just like, "That's our manager."
Yeah.
And they're just like, "Oh, this is great," because Haruma produces like 1,000 guns to point at him.
It's so fucking funny.
And at one point,
Where's that come from?
At one point, he is just standing there explaining the fact that you're going to be our running back and you're going to wear this helmet with the Eyeshield so nobody can poach you from us.
Yeah.
He's leaning on a fucking mega bazooka from Gundam.
Yes. It's like, where did you get that? I don't.
Sir, return that to Char Aznavour. It does not belong to you. And yeah, they're gonna make up this persona for him so he doesn't get poached by another football club.
Yep, he has to wear the helmet and the uniform and have his scary backstory or whatever.
They made him a fucking professional wrestling backstory, and that's pretty much the end of it. That's the end of the
show.
And now he's a football boy.
Now he runs for the Crash Bandicoots. That mascot did look like Crash Bandicoot in the face. I hate the mascot.
I love how they ran out of so in football, and this is usually only for like pro teams, but you occasionally like run out of a big inflatable structure for showmanship at the beginning of a game, and theirs is the devil, which I kind of appreciate.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It looks like that imp Pokemon.
Fuck, which one?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Why would I know Pokemon?
Learn them.
It looks like anything. It looks like it could be a Digimon.
But yeah, a lot of these characters look like they could be Digimon. I
think that Sena looks like he has Yu-Gi-Oh hair. He has Yu-Gi-Oh hair.
I'll say this: Sena is a fucking Digimon protagonist.
Yes.
Like that's what he looks like. And then Memori looks like a much more normal like romance girl.
Uh-huh.
But then fucking Haruma and Roadhog are just completely out there. Like Haruma, I cannot stress that this is not a human. He is not a human. He is a beast man from fucking Gurren Lagann.
Whenever I saw his design, I was immediately hooked on this show. I was like, oh, that's a horrible, feral little man, and I love him.
Why are his teeth like that? What the fuck?
Why does he have elf ears? I don't care. He's my favorite.
The first time I saw him, I no shit. This is going to be inaccessible for you two. I no shit thought of fucking Dark Schneider from Bastard. I was just like, Jesus.
Oh man. So if it wasn't obvious, I think this show was very good.
You seem to like it.
It's extremely like fast paced, which I appreciated, and almost all of the humor really hit for me. I don't know why. I thought this show was very fucking funny.
I don't know if the jokes really landed for me, but I'll give it this: it worked for me, like as like a piece of media that I want to look at, and it didn't really like lose me because it didn't like fuck around that much.
Yeah,
there was very little downtime most of the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's very fast paced. I appreciated that.
And every time one of these freaks was on screen, I was just like, "Yeah, look at him!
Yes,
Look at
same.
this fucking weirdo."
Yeah.
What do you think, Blackle?
I didn't like it, honestly.
It was
I thought it was kind of
sports
boring.
anime. Aw.
Oh well.
It's not going to be for
It had some
everyone.
good parts, but I just couldn't I don't know.
It's weird too because I'm not normally into sports anime, but I don't know. This one kind of caught me off guard.
Couldn't get invested in the football story, in the American football story,
The only person
made by Japanese people.
Yeah, the only person who can get me into football is John Boyce.
I don't know. It took me back because like I've never been interested in like watching football.
Yeah,
is the main thing, which separates me from many people who played football. I only ever liked playing it,
right.
and
You're
only
like,
kind
I need to attack people right this minute.
But yeah, overall, the show is pretty good. I do think it's a little wild with the character designs. I feel like they should have established like a baseline because some of these characters look like they're from different anime.
Most of them do look like they're from different anime from each other.
There's so much like variation in the art style of all the characters. It's wild.
I think they needed an element to connect all of these characters, so you could at least say they're all from the same show.
I mean, that's completely fair, but also I did cheer every single time a new character came on screen because I was so hype. I was like, yeah, they're all freaks. It's freak football, baby.
It's fucking Mutant League football from Japan. Here comes Bones Jackson. But I can't say whether I would watch more of this because listen, viewers, I have a lot of shows on my plate already that I still don't watch.
Yeah, same. I mean, I feel that.
Like they're on the list, and I was just like, I'm not sure I could make fucking room for Eyeshield 21.
Especially considering we pulled this list up of episodes and it was, hey, 145 episodes.
Yeah, it's a sports anime. It goes on for eons.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And I'm gonna be real. Like if I was gonna put a sports anime into my rotation, I'm not sure Baki the Grappler counts, so we're gonna skip over that. I would probably start with Ippo because boxing is cool as shit, and Ippo is hilarious because it is about a tiny dumbass who works on a fishing boat and hits like a fucking train, and it's too dumb to know how much pipe he slings.
I could see myself watching more of this. I
like it.
I liked it a lot, actually.
It might be a good palate cleanser between other shit you're watching.
Yeah. I could see like this being like a popcorn show for me. Like I watch an episode like a week or something. You know what I'm saying?
Like if you were watching the kind of shit I like, if you're like if you were gonna be like, I'm gonna watch Monster now, and after 3 episodes you're just like, I need a fucking break.
Right.
These people are too European and too murdery.
I need to go back to my good demon boys.
We're gonna watch Eyeshield 21 and the freaks play football. The stakes are low.
I need to see my freakos. Bring me my little boys.
So I'm gonna guess you're not gonna watch any more Black Hole because you don't seem to care.
Yeah.
That's fine. You don't have to like everything that we like.
There's so much stuff, y'all.
Yeah. No, I understand. You don't listen. Just because I am super hyped about this one doesn't mean you have to be. I respect it.
I mean, you like the show about Space Sasuke, and we all thought he was an insufferable piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
True.
I also thought he was insufferable.
But
you just liked it.
Yeah.
But you like the show enough to want to see more of it.
That was the show where it was the Space Children show, right?
Yes.
That show is so I didn't think it was very good, but I felt pandered to, so I had to watch it.
It was Blacklecore for sure.
So yeah, if you have a 1-episode cast host that you find insufferable, but too charming to not listen to another episode, you can tell us which at 1episodecast@gmail.com.
That is 1 the word, not the number. And hey, tweet us your favorite football freaks. We are at 1episodecast on Twitter.
Always liked Bones Jackson.
Buzz, I like Sawtooth Jones.
Hobson Dugnut.
Hobson Dugnut. Mike Hernandez.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want the dish about football?
Okay.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I did.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so listeners may not know. They may have some inkling from the quality of my voice. I am a tall, large man. I am not fast. I have never been fast in my life. So the running back shit, no, not for me. I can throw a ball very hard, but not very accurately. So I was also probably not quarterback material. And you need to have a certain level of agility to be a quarterback, so you don't fall on your own face with the ball.
Yes.
Because that's fucking embarrassing. So they decided that the proper ways to deploy me were on the line, and your job on the line, depending on regardless of which side, is to hit the other guy directly in front of you.
Right. You keep the quarterback from getting flattened, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah.
I really liked playing defense, but they simply chose not to put me on defense because I was apparently too valuable to be on the offensive side, where I was very good at grabbing the guy in front of me and throwing him very far away. Because you're kind of allowed to use your hands more on the offensive line.
Gotcha.
Which eventually upgraded it into me being the center, which is a very fun position in football, where you get to snap the ball, and also the quarterback gets to put his hands on your ass every play.
Good for you.
Waiting for the football.
Nice.
Which may be why I stopped playing football.
Gosh.
Uh-oh.
Because I am just tired of some motherfucker having his hands in my ass.
Oh, jeez.
I also played nose guard, which is the flip version of that on the defensive side, because I was
try and flatten the quarterback.
Because I was occasionally quite good at going over the center if they were too short, because I was quite tall.
I'm obsessed with that.
Which listen, you don't usually get a sack.
Right. No.
If you're a lineman. But sometimes you scare the quarterback enough that they fuck up because they see you coming at them like Jaws.
And they're like, oh god, I'm going to... This is the time. This is the time I actually die.
He's going to break my knees off. And then they miss their fucking throw, or they throw it into the ground, or just fucking trip. I've seen that happen a couple of times.
Nice.
That's
funny.
I find American football to be a very fun game. I don't think it's worth all the concussions people who play it seriously receive.
Yeah, probably not.
But it is it's a good outlet if you happen to be a gigantic teenage boy with anger issues. Because you just, especially whenever it's kickoff. Kickoff is like a joyous experience for the big dumb meatheads of the team. Because you kick the ball to the other team and they grab it and they have to run it back and they're trying to get a touchdown. But what you're trying to do as a 6'4", 16-year-old is you're trying to run as fast as your heavy legs will carry you so that you can decapitate a motherfucker.
Yeah. Run
by
into
throwing
them
your
like
whole
a train.
fucking body at them. And it is joyous.
You become the road roller. Nah.
Yeah. So that's Magpie's football education. We were gonna have a guest on who I think played a little bit, and that would have been fun, but
that would have been
didn't pan out. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Anyway, I think that's enough to wrap it up. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
That seems like it.
We'll
Football.
See you on the,
All right.
We'll see y'all on the court.
See you on the field.
We'll see you next Monday for some football.